What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday morning. I want to ask everybody a hypothetical question about what would happen if the ship stopped moving, if cargo stopped coming to America. What would happen to society? And I think a lot of people know that it would almost instantly just stop. All hell would break loose. And a lot of people say that would never happen because other countries need our income, blah, blah, blah. But China has been around for thousands of years. Their civilization has been around for thousands of years. And America's only been around for about 250 years. We're a baby compared to other civilizations that have been through a lot harder times than what's going on now. They were here before us, they'll be here after us. You know, that they've had plenty of practice to go through hard times. And what I'm getting at is, how long do you think society would last if there was no cargo coming into America? You look at the average American that can't go a couple of days without buying something on Amazon, or they complain that, you know, they have to wait 5 minutes at a restaurant for food, or has the power ever went out on your house and everybody starts freaking out within 30 minutes. As soon as the power goes out, instantly the generators are up and running, burning through all your fuel just to keep the AC on and the phone's charging. People in China, not all of them, because there's a lot of wealthy people in China as well, and I'm sure they have these type of people too. But for the vast majority of China, they're not very well off. They go with a lot less than Americans have. Just like people in other countries, they go with a lot less. And that's made them more resilient to hard times. That's made them, they can hold out a lot longer, put it that way. In America, we don't produce anything. We're a service-based economy, which means we do stuff for other people for the vast majority of jobs. Most jobs in America are some kind of service. You know, selling something or doing any kind of service, really. We don't produce a whole lot in America compared to other countries. And what that's gotten us is a very relaxed, easy lifestyle of pushing buttons and, you know, clicking on things or typing on your phone or your computer. And not really hard manual labor. Not for the vast majority of America. It's a very soft, easy life. Even the hardest times that you think you've been in is easier than most other countries in the world. You know, that's why people like coming here. They want to come into this country, whether it's for the free money or the free housing or whatever, the freedoms that we have. That's something else. What I'm talking about is when the cargo stops, when the planes stop flying, when the ships stop coming, when we stop getting all of our crap from China. If it hits all at once, they could last longer than we could because we're not used to it. Just like somebody that's homeless, that's lived on the streets, that's had hard times in their life, they can go a lot longer in hard times because they are used to it. I'm not saying it's good, I'm saying that they're used to it. Nobody should live like that. And a lot of people in China, they shouldn't live the way they do, but they do, and they're used to it. Americans, on the other hand, me and you, people that live in the States, that you might think you have a hard life, you might have a couple inconvenient things that happen every once in a while. It is far better to live in America because of the easiness that we have here. But what are you going to do when the supplies start drying up? They stop coming in. Do you do anything that's hard to get yourself prepared for that? Are you learning how to grow your own food? Are you learning how to hunt? Are you learning a skill that can be utilized for an income? Because when the service goes away and we need to start producing things, nobody knows how to do anything anymore, building wise or construction wise or inventing wise. Not a lot of people in America know how to do anything like that. What happens when your car breaks down? You need to learn how to fix your own car. You need to have an asset, have a skill for yourself and for your family that you can produce an income, whether that's a bartering system or monetary system or whatever. You need to have some kind of skill. You need to know how to do something and produce something, because one day those ships could possibly stop, whether it be war or weather or tariffs or whatever's happening in the world. The back and forth between China and America, it's going to dry up one day eventually. It's going to be cut off. And whether they do it gradually to get people used to it or accustomed to it, that would be the best scenario, because it would give people more time to accept it and figure out how to do other things with their life. But what I see coming is a hard stop on it. Cold turkey, just nope, no more. Very little stuff coming in and out. And you got to understand that the things that are coming from China aren't going to be directed to you and Amazon and the average people. It's going to be going to government corporations. It's going to be going to the big people, and they can sprinkle it out where they see fit. Temu things, how cheap everything is that we buy in America from China, and we've gotten so used to it. We've gotten so comfortable sitting on our butt clicking buttons. You order your phone, you order a movie, you order your food, everything is at one click away. Hail a taxi while you're sitting in the bathroom, and you get mad when they're 2 minutes late. That mentality that we have in America, not everybody, like I said, it's an average. It's there's a lot of people in America. Rural people, I think, will last a little bit longer because they're a little bit more used to it. They're a little bit more accustomed to, the power went out for a day. That's not a big deal. But people in cities, when it takes more than 30 seconds to do anything and they throw a fit and they're so entitled because I want it now and why is it not here? Those people are not going to last, and they're going to get angry, and they're going to get mad and upset. And why is my stuff not here yet? Or how come I can't do this? How dare you? And they're going to take it out on other people, and they're going to take from people that have. You need to understand that the people that don't have are going to try to take from people that do have, and they're going to justify it because, well, I need it too. And people always do that. People do that now in an easy society. They would rather go steal something than go work for it. In other countries, you get your arm chopped off, or you get hung, or you get put to death, or stoned to death, or whatever. You go to prison for 20 years for stealing something. In America, as long as you don't steal more than $1,000 or $999, it's a don't do that again kind of mentality. We need to understand that the potential for resources in America to dry up and dry up fast could happen very quick. Be prepared for things to happen in a fast pace. That tsunami that happened last night, people had a couple hour warning. That's pretty fast. Luckily it didn't do too much damage. I think they got like a foot tsunami on the west coast, and other places got like 5 feet, which is still a lot of water coming at you at one time. However, it wasn't something that was like totally catastrophic. And what happens if it hit just a little bit different and it made a 15-foot wall? That would, in an instant. What happens if something like that happened on the East Coast or closer to the West Coast, to where they got a big surge like that? How quick would things change? Scenarios like that, wildfires, earthquakes, tsunamis, all these things, they happen in an instant. It's not a gradual thing that happens. And sometimes far out in the distance, you see them coming, and people say, it won't come to me. It won't happen over here. That's way over there. World War II was on another continent, way over there. And then it came to us. Things happen, and you can see them far away, and then all of a sudden it's there right in front of you. You see a deer on the side of the road way up while you're driving, and then all of a sudden he jumps out in front of you. It happens so fast. These things happen in an instant, even though we can see them, miles down the road, or days or months down the road. And people say, they swear, it will not come to me. There's no way that can happen to me. But it happens. It happens all the time. And one day it might be you. One day it might be me, or it might be your neighbor. And one day the ships and the cargo might dry up, and it might happen. It might not happen. It could happen. Would you rather be prepared for it to happen or for it to not to happen? You need to learn how to produce as much things in your life as possible. That includes your own income, working for yourself, or working for somebody local, somebody that knows how to do things, how to produce goods. You need to learn how to acquire a skill or an asset that can be monetized. Otherwise, you are waiting for the ships to come over that most likely won't be there forever. Hopefully they do. Hopefully Americans live their nice cushy life for all of eternity. But the reality is most likely that's not going to happen. The reality is when things stop at an instant, most of y'all are not going to survive because you have not prepared anything in your life. I need y'all to think about that, consider it, because it could happen in an instant. I hope y'all have a great day.